Good afternoon, everybody. Some of you may not know, and some of you may know and didn't get a chance to see, but I did have a little bit of a setback. I had to go to the hospital, and I'm just here to let you guys know that I'm doing better, and I'm continuing and getting better. And I just wanted to give you guys an opportunity to just hear some of my thoughts, let you guys know a little bit more in detail about what happened. And I will be definitely posting more videos in the future. So God bless, and you can check this video that I recorded while I was in the hospital out, and hopefully it encourages you, enlightens you, and gives you, like I said, a good idea of what's been going on. All right, I will catch you guys later. Peace.
This is... Oh, okay. Hey, how's it going? This is my first time doing Facebook Live, honestly. So I'm just gonna give it a few. I think that's usually like the way they do things, where they wait for a little bit, let enough people get on, and then allow some time so I can fully explain everything that's going on. So if you guys can be patient with me for just a bit. It's Saquana. Let's see, Latricia. And I'm not gonna just call everybody out because I want to announce you all publicly. But hello. I'm doing all right though. Just so you all know. For starters, if you guys haven't already been following, the series. Hey Tiffany. Let me see. That's Tiffany from Bronson. Hey. If you guys haven't been following the series, I guess I can use this time to thank you. I can use this time to give you guys a little bit of a understanding of what the series is, but also what's going on with me right now. So I'm sure you guys probably have seen some stuff on Facebook about like this thing called Honest Christianity, and it's basically me giving people, hey Steph, thank you. I'm doing all right. And I will be. I'm sure you guys know that, just like a little bit about me, and if you know Naomi, then you know that we were going through some stuff, or we have been in life. But with all the things that I've gone through this entire time, thank you. I've still been able to remain faithful throughout the situation, remain strong, and I guess I just kind of want to share a little bit of that strength and faith with others. If I've been able to go through it, I've been able to go through them. I'm sure a lot of you all can do the same. This year has been pretty rough for me specifically. I've been in the hospital probably 5 times. Well, not probably, it's been 5 times. And then, leaving the hospital not expecting to come back. And then, things would happen. Believe it or not, I'm grateful that I'm not in the same situation that I was. I'm not necessarily in the hospital for the same situation. Let me see. You can't really look at the time while you're doing. Okay. So, let's see. 8:03. So 8:05. That's when I'm just gonna go full blown and basically fully explain. Hey Trinity, thank you. I appreciate that. Literally every prayer, none of it's in vain. I'm definitely grateful. And I pray, and I've been praying for you all as well, that God rewards you all for your faithfulness. And so you wanna sit back? So this is my trooper right here. She's been with me throughout all of this, and I'm grateful. Thanks, Mike. Thank you. So yeah, like I said, it's been about 5 times, and each time, while I was in the hospital, I've had thoughts, like I'm sure we all do, and I was wondering whether or not, I was gonna make it, really, Um, I would be praying and asking God, and even there were times where I won't go as far as to say like doubts, but questions. The devil always tries to use these opportunities to test you, and there were definitely times where I was tested, and it just kind of had me asking questions like, is God really with me right now? And is it gonna actually be okay? I experienced depression for the first time. I think honestly, yeah, I think this would be really the first time I think I've ever experienced depression and anxiety, and it's a real thing. It is definitely a real thing. Um, Chains that can really keep you held down in all reality, um, preventing me from doing things. I said I was in the hospital 5 times. Well, one of those times, the first time, well, actually, no, I'll take that back. The second time, hey, Megan, the second time I was in the hospital, and I'm gonna try to stop because this is my first time doing Facebook Live, so I'm gonna try to stop saying hi to every person who's watching because I don't want to call y'all out or anything like that because you didn't ask for all that. But the second time I got out of the hospital, I thought that was it, and I was home home for about 6 weeks. I was home for 4 weeks. Went back to the hospital for a checkup. They said I was good. Went back home 2 more weeks. I'm at home, just trying to get better, recuperate. The first day I leave home, first day, I was gonna go to the bank, get some business taken care of. Very first day, my so what the first time my left lung had a hole in it, and it made it hard for me to breathe, obviously, and so I had to get a chest tube put in, and so that was a big deal. So I finally get out, and like I said, the first day I really get back out into the world, my right lung pops, and I was walking and I could just feel something off. Like I felt like so basically you feel like oxygen is leaving, and it affects your brain because your brain needs oxygen, and so I just felt something and it was very weird, and I just part of me just kind of knew, and it really sucks. And so with that being said, it basically got me to the point where I was just like afraid to leave the house. Like I was afraid to go outside because of the fact, like the first time I tried walking outside and really being mobile, I ended up messing my lung up again. And so when I finally got out of the hospital that time, I ended up, like I said, I was at home, and I was like I said, I was basically afraid to go to church and to go other places, just to leave the house because I wasn't sure whether or not I could actually, um, you know, I would be okay. And so that's why I was like, I do understand this concept of anxiety and depression, and it's not fun, but it is a real thing, and but it's also something that can be overcome. Um, Positivity and really just trusting God throughout this process has gotten me through personally. And like I said, I didn't really have a full message or anything like that for this. Obviously, I could definitely go into some detail and bring some things about, but this was definitely supposed to be a Q&A. And so I'm going to start off by basically just telling you, first off, why I'm in the hospital this time, to the best of my knowledge. Um, so my Monday night, Tuesday morning, about 2 o'clock, I was actually just chilling. I was at home playing on my PS4, and I started coughing up blood, and I was, obviously, that was extremely concerning. And so I got on the phone. I called Sienna, and I was just like trying to tell her as much as I could, you know, while I knew I could. Thanks, John. So I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to speak past, this phone call right now because I don't know, because it was liquid. It was liquid blood. I was coughing up. So I was just like, I'm going to just tell you as much as I can, hey. And I was trying to calm myself so I didn't alarm her too much. But I was just saying, hey, I need to go. So we went to Rex Hospital, got there about basically like I said, around 2-ish. And then they transferred me here to UNC. Um, and so basically it's kind of like an internal bleeding thing right now. Um, tomorrow I'm gonna have two procedures done. I'm gonna get a PICC line, and then I'm also gonna.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Um, I'm gonna get a PICC line done, which is basically like a more more permanent IV, and then I'm also getting a procedure done where they're gonna go through one of my arteries to get to my lungs so they can patch up the area where the that's kind of, I guess you would say, leaking. I'm stable right now, which is why they haven't done it yet, and why they didn't rush me into it, because they want me to be a thing called NPO, which basically means not eating for 8 hours. Thank you. Yeah, so definitely, like I said, please pray. The surgery doesn't necessarily have huge side effects at all, but there is a risk that is not so great. It's a rare risk, but they still have to tell you, because they're going through an artery. It's near the spine, and there's a possibility of paralysis. Small possibility, but it's still something they have to tell you because it is a possibility. And so definitely just be praying for that, please. That that doesn't happen, obviously. And so I would definitely appreciate that. Um, so that's kind of what we're waiting on. I had a CAT scan, and that's what's going to happen on tomorrow. And so I guess the way I can do this, just for continuity's sake, is I'll do like 5 minute sprints where I'll just leave, like, I guess, time open for questions, and then if not, I can get into a little bit of the like I said, the series in and of itself. And so if there are any questions, I would just say while I'm going through this, you can probably ask them now. Like I said, I've gone through a whole lot in this in life, I guess, and I really just wanted to encourage you guys. It's going to get better. Thank you so much. It is going to get better from not just myself, but if you guys, like I said, if you guys have, hey, if you guys have anybody who is, oh, thank you, Tiffany, beautiful inside and
Thank
out.
you.
Absolutely. And like I said, basically, we it's been so much, like it's hard to really put it into words. That's why I said questions make it easier to explain. But out of the many times where I've been faced with that reality of, and there's some harsh realities, like things like lung transplants, not fun, not fun at all. But like I said, reality is all the same. And so these are things that I'm just trusting in God for myself personally to help me get through. Two things that I was told to do. Well, basically, when I was in the hospital that last time, before this time, I was praying to God, asking Him for some direction. And the two things that I was told to do were, one, to seek, because I think a lot of us go through this thing where it's like we deal with something in life and we pray to God that it gets better, and then we kind of just forget about it, and it somehow gets better, but we don't really think about how it got better, or what actually happened in order for that to occur. And we kind of just accept that it's better, but we don't really grow from it. And I think that's what kind of stunts a lot of us, because see, what was happening with me was, while I was going through that initial issue, I kept asking myself, I was like, okay, God, I'm trying to think to myself about times where God brought me through something, right? But for some strange reason, out of all the times I've been in the hospital and all those things, somehow my mind was going blank when I was trying to remember, like, specifically what God brought me through and how it happened. I remember praying about it, but I remember things just kind of got better as time went on. And I think the reason why I couldn't fully, like, at that time remember, was because of the fact I don't think I ever really grew from the situation. It just kind of passed, and I felt better, and things got better. And I think, like, that's something that probably happens with a lot of us. We'll go through something, we'll pray about it, and then Thanks, bro. I'll talk about this. See you on here. Yeah, bro. I've been seeing you though. I've been seeing you some of your posts. It looks like you're doing well. And I'm happy for you, Tyler. Thanks, Denard. Me too, man. You and me both. You and me both. And so I'm hoping that, like I said, through this situation is just a concept of maturity, spiritual maturity, that is. So it's this concept of just being obedient, but also trusting and obeying. I've been introduced to so many different things just over my life. I know we all have that have challenged my faith personally, and like people talking to me about all these different religions and different people just kind of challenging me and what I believe, right? And so I guess what I'm trying to do myself personally, I don't think that it's fair to say, and like obviously this is on the fly, so forgive me, but I don't think it's fair for me to just cancel or disallow myself from believing if I haven't put in the full effort. I think that's what happens with a lot of people, where they'll say, people who have, disowned Christianity or something like that. But I guess my question is, were you really going full force to begin with? And I think a lot of us, we're kind of comfortable where we are. We kind of exist with God. That's something Sienna had brought up yesterday when we were meditating. I was basically just saying, we were talking about, it was Matthew, the 22nd chapter, right? Mm-hmm. And it basically talks about, it's a parable about a wedding feast. And what happens in the feast is there's a lot of people who are invited and don't come to the feast. And then there's a lot of people who are invited and actually do come. And out of the people that came, there was one guy there who did not dress for the wedding. And that guy ended up getting kicked out of the wedding, and he ended up actually getting tortured. And so the question that we were trying to figure out is, who is that guy? What does this parable represent? And then the end of it is something we all are familiar with. Many are called, but few are chosen. So many people were invited to the wedding, but not everybody at the wedding was actually there for the wedding, if that makes sense. And it essentially was saying, we have people who are at church and in church and, say they love God, follow God, but they are more existing with God than they are actually following God. And so,
No, assuming they existed, they just exist in the same plane as.
Yeah, like they're existing. They're just kind of like existing there. And so like I said, I said all that to say, guys, me personally, I'm just at a point in my life where I'm not satisfied with just getting by anymore. I'm not satisfied with just the bare minimum of knowing God. I think I've gone through way too much in my life personally to just, like I said, keep going on with this cycle. And so that's, like I said, that's where I am personally right now. And I'm trying to, I guess you could say, hopefully grow with you guys. Like I said, in the series, my plan for this week personally was to show you guys just some of the steps that I'm taking, the actual steps I'm taking to get better. So I've been trying to take my health very seriously. I changed the way I eat. Like, I'm pseudo-vegan at this point.
It's like pseudo-naturalist.
Well, naturalist isn't, not everybody knows what that naturalist means.
Yeah, pseudo-vegan then.
But I eat fish. That's about it. Everything else I stopped eating. No fried foods, no meats.
No tofu.
I don't eat Idaho potatoes. I only eat like red potatoes, different things like that. And these are all things I'm doing just to stay healthy. I got an exercise bike, and if a lot of you guys know, I play saxophone, right? Doctor told me I can't play anymore. At least not for a while anyway. And because it's possible stress on my lungs, and they're still trying to heal from the holes. And so even with like things like that, it's just taking steps to get better. You know, when we're going through things, you don't let what you're going through hold you down. Is I guess what I'm saying. Don't let it stop you. If you prayed to God and you asked God, to bring you out and bring you through something, and then to keep you, what I'm saying, through it, and even after the fact, you have to show some resolve, some determination. And so that's basically my form of showing determination. The light in here is pretty bad.
You put the lighting up on your phone.
You're so right. But I still think there's shadows. But but like I said, it's you have to show some resolve of your own in all reality. Let me see what this is as a notification. Is this a question or? Oh, okay. You have to show some resolve of your own, and so that's like I said. That's what I'm doing. I got the exercise bike and I'm doing that. Got some dumbbells, and I say this because it's like, if I'm able to do this with all the issues that I'm going through right now, I know that, and like I said, this is not to belittle anyone's situation, but I know. Hey, what's good, Marty? I feel like Brunswick is showing up so strong right now. I haven't seen these guys in a while, and I know Brunswick, Greensville, sort of, but it's good. It's good to hear from you, man. But like I said, this is not to belittle anybody's situation, but if I can get through what I'm going through currently, and then like I said, show the resolve to keep pushing forward, showing that I'm not giving up, basically. Like I said, I don't know if you guys know this, but my condition, they have life expectancy limits on things like what I go through. Some people, it's the age of like 40, is what they say, and there are definitely people who have lived past that, but these are just averages. Thanks, bro. Gotta stay positive. Gotta stay positive. I was just talking to one of the nurses. There's like this study about like water, and I'm sure you guys have seen the little study with plants, where it talks about like people who talk to plants, and it actually like encourages the growth of the plant. And then there was also a study that talked about water, and just how water can retain memories based on what it's around and what it hears. And I want to go, like I said, too deep into that, but the whole point about it is our humans being 70% water, and I think that has something to do with just like concept of positive reinforcement and positive talking positively to yourself, and thinking positively. And on the flip side, it's like if you're not thinking positively, we do know for a fact that thinking negatively does have harmful effects on the body. So yeah, man, I have to. Otherwise, I can't let this stuff hold me down. Long story short, and like I said, fortunately, like this beautiful lady on my left, I have great people around me. I have great people around me. I have people like you guys who are, what I'm saying, sitting encouragement. It helps so much because there's so many times when I'm just in the hospital, like alone, by myself in like, small little room. And you're just alone with your thoughts sometimes. And sometimes it's a good thing and sometimes it's not the best thing. So it's always great. When I was actually at Rex, before I got transferred here, I saw this person who was a transgender man. He was a man initially. I don't know exactly how they call that, but transgender man. I don't know.
Transgender woman.
Okay. But the guy had like a upside down cross, like cut into their foot, ankle basically, on their left ankle, and they had all these tattoos and things like that, Star of David and just all this stuff. Come to find out, and this is just overhearing because we were in the same area and they were pretty loud. They were talking about how they were having suicidal thoughts, how they had already cut themselves a couple times. I actually saw it on their arm, And I'm just looking at this person, and I'm just like, I actually went over to try to talk to them. They didn't really seem like they wanted to talk too much. But I'm just hoping that maybe the fact that I actually went over there and tried to encourage them is something that's gonna like that they'll be able to think about, because they felt like their life wasn't valuable, is what they said. Um, the fact that they were at the hospital is a good thing, because at least they were seeking some sort of help. So I'm really hoping that things work out for that person. But like I just said, like when you're alone with your thoughts, you can go to a lot of dangerous places. So it's always good to allow people around you. I say allow because sometimes we seclude ourselves, and that's never good. That is never a good thing. Um, I know me personally, like I said, I've experienced it myself. Even just being on like St. Aug's campus or something like that. Like there were times when I was just going through my own stuff with medicine and things, and my teachers, they would just be on me, like why are you late to class, and you making excuses and things like that. And I was just trying to do my best. Like I was trying to not let it show. I was trying to not use it as an excuse. And I was just trying to get through. But there were times where I just couldn't hold it in anymore. And like I said, the effects of things like that can go far. So me, I've been just working on just like expressing how I feel in the moment, or at least taking a little bit of time to understand how I feel, then expressing it, but not holding it in too much. Especially like I said, if you do have a significant other, you always want to share with them
You're not
and be
allowed
open
to
and
keep
honest.
stuff in too long.
So, like I said, definitely appreciate that. Um, like I said, so any questions? Anybody? Is there anything that anybody might even be going through right now that they're, or if you're shy, you can say, one of those. I know somebody who's going through this. Is there anything you could think of that I can say to them? I work pretty well with questions. Any questions at all? And for those of you who just got on, um, I'm going to be having a procedure done tomorrow. So please definitely pray for me in regards to that. It's hopefully it'll be in the morning, and they're going to be going through one of my arteries to stop some bleeding that was occurring, because reason why I'm here is because I was coughing up blood basically, and it happened twice. And at first they were just kind of waiting to see if it would like cool down, but when it happened the second time, that's when they decided, okay, we really need to make some decisions about this. So I'm seeing, like I said, I'm seeing a lot of people from Brunswick and from school. So hey guys, um, I'm doing all right. I'm stable, and like I said, just your prayers are definitely appreciated. They're not taken for granted. Here, like I said, as you saw in the description, this is the Q&A for the Honest Christianity series that I'm doing. In the videos, basically, I just, like I said, go in depth about some of the things that just kind of like the journey that I'm going on in life, and hopefully, like I said, it can help. Thank you so much. Thank you, Colleen. And I'm hoping to help, like I said, help some people who are going through things, and also just like I said, maybe you haven't gone through anything yet. You know what I mean? Or maybe you're going through something of a different manner. But I definitely think that the things that are brought up are things that you can take with you. One thing I guess I can get into specifically, there's our author by the name of C.S. Lewis, and the inspiration for the series kind of came from, I guess you could say it came from a book of his. It's called Mere Christianity, but he has this one statement. Can you pull that statement up? The house statement.
Oh, okay.
He has this one statement where he talks about a house, and basically what he says is, imagine you have. I'm gonna see if she can get it real quick.
Get it?
Yep, there we go. Bow.
Wow.
Okay,
It's,
so
it's going on. There it is.
like I said, this is C.S. Lewis, and this quote is really powerful. Imagine yourself as a living house. God comes in to rebuild that house at first. No, rebuild that house. At first, perhaps you can understand what he's doing. He's getting the drains right, he's stopping the leaks in the roof, and so on. You knew those jobs needed doing, and so you're not surprised. But presently, he starts knocking the house about in a way that hurts abominably and does not make any sense. What on earth is he up to? The explanation is that he's building quite a different house from the one you thought of, throwing out a new wing here, putting up towers, extra floors, and a new wing here, extra towers, and making courtyards. You thought you were being made into a decent little cottage, but he's building a palace. He intends to come and live in it himself. And like I said, that quote really hit home for me because, like I said, after the first, obviously, like 3 times in the hospital this year, and it was the same problem. It was the same problem. Hey, what's good, bro? Oh, snap. Hey, guys. Glad to see you. Um, like I said, after the 3rd time, I'm just thinking to myself, like, what's the purpose, you know? Like I've been trying to, find purpose in what's going on with, my situation and why am I still going through this? And like I said, in the quote, he says you get to a point where things start to hurt like abominably and you're asking, what in the world is going on? And it's like you're being built into something that more than what you thought, basically. And so I'm like I said, while I was in the hospital, I was able to, encourage this one guy who was just telling me about his son and how his son passed away, and that actually stopped him from even believing in God. And like I said again, if you guys have any questions, definitely you can post them in the comments, and I'll get to them as I while I'm speaking. And his son passed away, and that caused him to stop believing in God. And I was just, if you guys know me personally, some of you may know, most of you probably know, my little sister passed away with the same condition that I have. She passed away at the age of 17, 2015. And basically I was just letting him know that I understand where he's coming from, not fully, because I don't think it's, me personally, I don't think it's the same. But my mom obviously does, because a parent losing a child versus someone losing a sibling, I do think that there is a different connotation of mourning in that scenario. But I was just telling him how we were able to make it through. Now, him personally, he was mad at God. He said he was mad at God with what happened. He was like, we prayed and, he didn't make it. And so, he's just asking God why. And so that basically led him away from God. And I told him I understood his situation. But I also told him that I think as humans, we look at things in the finite a little bit too much. We oftentimes are very focused on the now rather than the big picture. Because what I was saying to him was, in our opinion, right? And this is me coming from me because I had been with Naomi through it all. Like, me and her were in the hospital at the same time, many times. Just like looking at each other, we were getting through it together with each other. From, looking at each other from the hospital bed. And we always had each other, so it felt better. And however, I could tell that it was affecting her more than it was affecting me. She was going to the hospital a lot more than I was. I was going maybe like once a year. She was going like 2-3 times. And like I said, this year has been very different for me. It's been like 5 times. I'm not really used to this. But I do believe that it's going to get better. And thank you, bro. And I definitely feel that. Thanks, Jaron. I definitely feel that. I know you mean it. And so, like I said, with her, what I can say is 2 things. I'm happy that she's not suffering, because she was. She was suffering. She doesn't have to have, the pain of like the needles, the constant needles. Like me, I guess I'm used to needles and they hurt, but I'm used to them. But her skin, was a little bit more delicate. And I know, like, always having to, like, she was always walking behind us. Whenever we would be walking, she couldn't keep up. And this was just her entire life, trying to keep up with people. And like I said, if some of you guys are friends with Naomi, I know I saw some of her friends on here. You guys can attest to that. And I would always try to slow myself down to walk with her or help bring her forward. And so these were just little things that, I could see. And I knew, like I said, I knew she was struggling. And so what I was telling him was, I was like, in the grand scheme of things, the way we look at it anyway, where we find our solace, was that Naomi, she was in a better place, for one. And then two, it's not over for her. And a lot of times, we pray to God, for the situation to get better and for things to turn out all right, right? And I guess what I was saying to the guy was, well, what's your definition of all right? Like, is all right, because either way, if they're at peace and their, eventual outcome is heaven, then things did turn out all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, was all right that, or is that your only view of all? Is your only view of all right the fact that they had to be on this earth? What if they were here and they just suffered for the rest of their life? You know what I mean? And it's not to say that that's like the only outcome, but my point is, we look at things in such a finite perspective, that we lose the fact that, and we just distrust God because of it, because we're so stuck on the now and this world. And some of you might not necessarily believe in God, or maybe you believe in God but you don't believe in heaven, or maybe you believe in, you might have your different beliefs. But like I said, for me and this gentleman right here, and the situation that we were in at that hospital, I was able to speak to him because I was able to encourage him to not so much look at his situation as a spiteful concept. And so when I opened, I guess you could say, broadened his perspective on the situation, he was grateful. Now, he said it's going to still take some time to heal and it's not going to get over, immediately. But he was definitely grateful, and he really did. Because actually, I had been seeing this same guy the entire time I was there, and he kind of seemed like a mean guy. I'm not going to lie. Until that last day, he actually, the day that I was supposed to leave the hospital, I ended up having to stay like for an extra week. And it was that day, if I had not stayed, because I usually would have left like 11 in the morning. If I hadn't stayed that night, he was actually the one who opened up the conversation, but he never had an idea that it was going to get to that point. And if I had not stayed, sometimes people would have been mad, like, oh my gosh, I have to stay, for a whole nother week. I've been here forever, and I was in the hospital twice before this. It's like I'm just ready to get out of here. But I was able to, like I said, speak to him and encourage him through it. And so, like I said, this is what's been, these are some of the things that I've been able to, I guess you could say, like I said, help people just because of the things that I have gone through. And like I said, once again, like I said, I see different people are getting on. So like I said, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm in here because I was coughing up blood, by the way. Just to let you guys know, I'm going to be having a procedure tomorrow. So, keep me in your prayers. They're definitely appreciated, and I don't take them for granted. So thank you. And like I said, I was just telling everybody that with all the things that I've been going through, I've just been trying to, like I said, encourage different people with whatever they might be going through themselves. And like I said, if you have a question for me, you have a question for Sienna, either way, because like I said, she's been helping me out throughout this entire process, and I'm very grateful for her for that. Like, she's gone above and beyond the call of duty for me, and another thing I don't take for granted. And so, just like I said, perspectives. If any of you guys have a family member going through something, like I said, even in the situation I'm in, I'm praying for other people at this point. You know what I'm saying? I'm praying for other people right now. Because, like I said, I'm not letting this slow me down, but also, it's not just about me. I'm here, but it's not just about me. And so, yeah, bro, I know, I know, and I will, I definitely will. I don't know, maybe I can open up like a Q&A, like maybe I should do like a Q&A thing and then like just have people send them in over time
Yeah, you should do like a Twitter thing.
and then answer them in a video or something like that.
That's actually a good
Yeah. And one thing is I'm going to be trying to come up there. I wanted to come this summer, but obviously, as you can hear, everything has happened. But I'm going to try to come up there and, oh, okay. I'm going to try to come up there this December. Can you hold this for me real quick? And, ooh.
idea. Hi.
There we go. Hey, beautiful people. I'm not gonna call everybody's name out that I'm seeing that's watching because I don't want to put y'all out there, but yeah, yeah, man. Hey, look, it's a blessing. It is a
We old
blessing
now.
to be old. I'm serious. I see old people, and I'm just like, man, I want to be that. Like, I can't even tell you. Like, it's such a blessing to be old. It's ridiculous. God bless you, Zaya. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you so much. I will. And I will be getting better. But, yeah, man. It's definitely... Yeah, of course I do, Steph. I remember you. I remember you straight from, I want to say Totero. I don't know if you went to Totero, but I remember you from high school. So,
Hey, it's Nora.
hey, Nora, thank you. Yeah, I literally just saw your mom.
Yeah, we saw her the other.
Yeah, we
last
saw
week.
her. We went to the movies, and I was talking to her, and I was like, I need to catch up with her. Yeah, trust me, man. I remember you guys. Like, I remember all y'all. I don't know if you remember. Well, I mean, I'm sure you remember me, but I always tried to speak to everybody when I would see them at school. There was nobody I wasn't trying to just to say hi to. But yeah, I remember
She
everybody.
said, what's wrong? Are you?
Yeah. So I was coughing up some blood. Okay, got you, Nora. We got to see each other.
Yeah, good.
I would love to meet up with you. But yeah, Stephanie, I was coughing up some blood. Coughed up some blood. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I was actually playing video games,
I was asleep.
and it just stopped me. Like I just started coughing, and so I called Sienna, this lovely lady to my left, and I just tried to calm myself first, and I was just like, hey, I'm coughing up blood. Don't worry, I'm stable enough because obviously, no, well, a lot of people don't know. Maybe I guess. Well, some of you guys do. I have a condition. It's a lung condition. It's called cystic fibrosis. I've had it in my entire life, and a lot of people don't know because I don't act like I'm sick or anything like that because you shouldn't, you know. But this has kind of just been a result of that. And I was coughing really heavily that night, and I guess I just opened up. It could have been a combination, to be honest. It could have been a blood vessel, they said,
Oh, wow.
that just opened up because of like heavy coughing. And so, but yeah, like I said, this is something I've just been living with, and so they're gonna be doing a procedure tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're gonna be doing technically two procedures, but the risks aren't super. The side effects are not bad. The risks are not terrible, and I know that sounds very vague. They do a lot of imaging to avoid any of these risks. But the biggest risk, I guess, is a possibility of paralysis. I know that sounds scary, but that's why they do all the imaging, and there's just something they have to tell you before, so they, they're not held accountable or liable for not telling you. But I'm believing God that that's not going to be the case. But like I said, at the same time, we don't. I don't want to not acknowledge God for getting me through it, and so that's why I say, yes, exactly. Pray, pray, and yeah, just pray for my recovery. Like I said, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. Um, she's cute inside and out, I promise. And like I said, just definitely pray for the recovery, because like I said, I'm gonna be, exercising, doing things. Like I said, I'm doing things to get myself better. I changed the way I eat now. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Kamani. Like I said, doing things like change the way that I eat, exercising, different things like that. And so I'm working, man. I'm making strides to, let my prayers not just be, not
Empty words.
empty words, basically. It's like, I'm asking God to do things, but, we have to put in that effort ourselves as well. And so I definitely am. Hey, Latifah. Somebody's going to talk to you about me pretty soon. And I know. I got this. And so, yeah, like I said, just, we don't want to, thank you.
You're welcome.
We don't want to pray and ask God for things that we're not, when we're not willing to make efforts ourselves,
Gotta show our own resolve sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we have to show our resolve, that we believe. You know what I'm saying? If I'm asking God to, help me get better, you know what I'm saying? If I'm asking God to give me, a long life, it's like, if I'm not doing things that show, like, I want to get out of the hospital, I want to get better. Well, okay, what happens when I get out of the hospital? What, am I just going to be home? Well, no, I got things to do. So it's like, me, like I said, whether I'm exercising, whether I'm, I don't feel like eating, but I'm still going to eat, because it's like, I got to show the resolve that I believe that God's going to get me through this. Mm-hmm. Like, if I'm having that procedure tomorrow, like, I don't really feel like the best, you know what I'm saying? But I'm still going to eat, because I believe that I can get through this. And I'm showing God that I believe that he can get me through this. So, showing your resolve can look a lot of different ways. But just, you have to give yourself the chance. I'll hit you up when I get back. I know you're... Oh, I know you're walking in your healing. Gosh, okay, maybe if I like it, I can see
Prayers
it.
up.
Okay.
Oh, that's good.
Amen.
Amen.
I wish you would have actually...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I just like to.
But, yeah, guys, so... Like I said, if you have any questions, definitely put them in the bottom. I respond very well to questions. Believe it or not, they're actually easier for me than just going off... going off rip? Or whatever.
Off the script?
Well, that's a way to say it, too, but I think it's it's a statement, like going off rip.
Oh, I've never heard
I think it's okay, guys. We're not really that hip or cool, so... But yeah, like I said, if you do have any questions, definitely link it. And I'm also, like I said, I'm thinking about doing like a thing where I just put up a question board, because like I said, this is a part of a series called Honest Christianity, where I'm just going through my life. This is a video log, essentially, and this is me basically, like I said, going through my life. And like I said, this is not to belittle anybody's situation, but I definitely think it's okay. Oh wow, Janae said I'm not cool.
Oh, dang. Is she talking about both of us or just you?
Oh, I'm not sure. What's the recovery? So recovery process, fortunately, like I said, the side effects aren't really that severe. It's really just to make sure I can get through the procedure. The recovery process is really just antibiotics. So I'm gonna be in the hospital, be on some antibiotics, and just try to keep myself. Oh, I'm so sorry, Natifa. I know, and I will see you, and I'm looking forward to it. Oh, excuse me. Um, and so basically antibiotics, and to just wean myself slowly back on. I don't know if wean is can only be used to take something off.
No, it's wean. It's still
Wean on. Okay, so to wean myself slowly back on my breathing treatments, because those are something that I can't really do right now because it could possibly encourage the bleeding, and it's essentially, and to give you layman terms for the procedures, guys, you know how you get a cut and you put Vaseline on it? I have a cut on the inside, and so they're gonna go in the inside and put some like gluey substance on it. Um, I can't say that I'm necessarily like, all that excited about that necessarily, but you know, I'm appreciative of what they're doing to help me get better, and so I respect that. And so yeah, but that's the recovery process. And then, like I said, I'm gonna ask them if I can still exercise because, like I said, I don't want to let this get me down. Like I said, I'm just trying to be the healthiest I can be.
I mean, you gotta
And
also
so,
think about the fact that you've been doing well weight-wise too, and you're trying not to lose that increase.
yeah, exactly. And then another thing you guys might not know about my situation, I have trouble gaining weight, and especially considering the fact that I changed the way that I eat, it's a lot harder now.
Yep.
And so, like I said, even with like I said the exercising, like eating is a really big struggle for me, just because I to maintain the weight. Um, I'm currently, I think, hopefully, I'm still there, like around
Well, last
125.
you were weighed, yeah.
Last I was weighed, I was like 125, which is, it's small. Um, but believe it or not, I actually gained 2 pounds since the beginning of this year. And so I'm just working and praying that, through exercise as well as eating consistently. Um, yes, and Austin, I hope you're still here because I see you. If you are still here, then I'll answer this now. Otherwise, I'll just message you. Yes, I'm still in Raleigh. I'm actually at UNC right now. But yeah, I'm still in Raleigh. Um, like I'm telling you, last summer I was doing so well with getting in contact with y'all, and I was looking forward to continuing. But like I said, life happened, and there were so many hospital visits after that. But like I said, once I get healthy, I'm definitely gonna make my way around there to see you guys. And I would say contact Sienna. If you're trying to help me, I would say contact Sienna. Because of the fact she's been doing so much for me, I think she would be able to give you guys a better, oh gosh, well, a better idea of what we could use some help with. Because she's been doing a lot of the heavy lifting on her own, and so the name of the procedure, I can't remember. I'll be honest. I don't know if you heard me explain it, but basically they're gonna go through my artery in order to get into my lungs, and the area where the bleeding is, they're gonna put like a gluey substance on it. So
It's like an endoscope, so you can see it's a camera at the same time it also applies and does a treatment.
hey Austin, I answered your question on this on the stream, but if you didn't hear me, then I will go back to the I'll go to my inbox and I will message you when this is over. And hey, how's it going? I'm just gonna say hi when I see people get on, especially as people I haven't seen in a while. I don't want to call your names out because you didn't get on here to be called out in public. But hey, hello, it's nice to see you. Um, but yeah, so like I said, that's kind of like the scope of the thing. And I hope I'm not a broken record, guys. I'm just trying to
Keep everyone updated.
keep everyone updated. But friend who just joined, I'm having a procedure tomorrow. I was coughing up some blood, and so I'm gonna be doing a procedure tomorrow to essentially heal the inner wound. Um,
Yeah, it doesn't sound
It's not
too
super
bad.
evasive. It's like I said, paralysis is like the biggest what if possibility kind of
It's like
situation.
the worst case
Worst case
scenario.
scenario. Um, cool. Paralysis is like the worst case scenario, but like I said, they do a whole lot to prevent that. And like I said, there's no real side effects. And I asked because I'm very concerned about my personal health and just my future health. I'm trying to do everything I can to make sure my kidneys stay good, my liver stays good, because those are different things that all the medicines that I take, can have effects on that. And so I try to be careful with what I allow to go inside my body, so I can keep my organs healthy enough to have to go through whatever they might have to go through for the things they have to go through. So that's why for me personally, like I don't drink alcohol. Now that's a personal choice, but knowing that it's just another way to keep my liver and healthy and kidneys just good, I just stay away from it. Just because it's like that's something that I can control. And this is not to like take anybody off alcohol or anything like that. Alcohol is totally fine. Being drunk is not, and that's just from a Christian perspective. But yeah, alcohol is totally fine. That's just my own personal choice. It's also not unhealthy to drink alcohol at all. If you guys were wondering that, since I've been talking about health a lot, but in moderation. But yeah, so um, that is essentially what's going on. And also, like I said, getting back, I guess, to the main topic was just that I said these are some of the things I'm doing. Making sure to eat enough, making sure to um, basically, like I said, stay healthy. And I'm very grateful to everybody who's reached out to me. And hold on. And my prayer, and this, I hope this doesn't sound healthy on. Okay, got you. Okay, I can talk a little bit about that. The question was being healthy on a budget, and if there's any suggestions or recommendations. I'm going to finish that last statement, and then I'll go to that question. Um, so just, I actually lost my train of thought a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you. Um, but I believe I was saying that these are, like I said, some of the steps that I'm taking. And, oh yeah, so I was saying this is my prayer. My prayer is, it's, might be a tad bit selfish, but at the same time, I understand that it's, if I have the right mind about it, I don't think it is. And so basically, my prayer has been this during this period was just like there's a lot of people that I would like to help. I just want to be around to help them, I guess. I think that God's given me a lot of perspective with all the things that have happened in my life. I've been given a lot of good perspective on things, and I go so far as to even say probably some wisdom. And so I just want to be able to share it with people, I guess, to encourage people, like I said, with all the things I've gone through that, you can make it through your situation, but not even just making it through the situation, but learning from the situation, growing from the situation. As I said earlier, a lot of times we pray about something and then it just gets better. We don't really think about it too much after that, though. Um, and there's not really a whole lot of growth that happens when that's the case. Because it's just like I prayed, it got better, and then I forgot that I even prayed about it at all. Or you thank God, but it's like, what did you really learn from that situation? Was there actual growth? And so, like I said, these are just some of the things like that I've been learning and understanding and just wanting to share with people. And so, like I said, that's kind of my prayer, just that I'm around long enough to be able to impact. And I don't want to just, I don't know, I just don't want to make a small, like, I really like to make a big impact. But I don't want to make one of those, like, Michael Jackson-esque impacts where it's like it all happens after they pass away or something. I really want to be around to you know, I guess be around for it. And like I said, you pray for long life, but the question is like, why are you praying for long life, and what are you gonna do with it? And so, yeah. But so the question was like being healthy on a budget suggestions. Okay, so first thing, it all depends on where you live, and I have to be honest about that. Now, not to say that you can't be healthy, but where you live does play a role in regards to like what you have access to. Um, and because the ways in which you could be healthy, I could say, are things like, you know, you have like your Trader Joe's and your whatever. But truth be told, Food Lion has healthy options and lots of them. Or a good, depending on a good bit of healthy options. It just depends on how far you're willing to go. But place I would start is this: farmers markets. If you live near a farmers market, take advantage of it. Reason why I say that is as long as you have transportation to get to that place, do it. Sweet potatoes, vegetables, things like that. Like, so for one, I'm just gonna start with potatoes. We are all hooked on Idaho potatoes. They are very unhealthy though. They are very heavily. There's a lot of starch in them, and so what I encourage people with is red potatoes or sweet potatoes. And places like the farmers market, you can get sweet potatoes for like $20. You can get 2 whole boxes of sweet potatoes, and that will last you a long time. Um, and like I said, not even just that, like fruits, same thing. It's like if you're getting them from places like the farmers market, they're a lot cheaper if you get them in bulk. And so, like I said, I would definitely say to hit places like those up to begin with. Just a thing of being healthy in general. Like breakfast, a lot of times we think that our breakfast, like the concept of breakfast in the United States is really bad because you have these things like chicken biscuits and like
Sausages,
sausage biscuits, eggs, things like that.
bacon.
Those are not really things that you should be putting on your stomach early in the morning. Your stomach needs time to like basically activate. And so what I encourage people to do is like smoothies for breakfast. And you can put things like avocados in the smoothie, but you want to have something light basically. And truth be told, that could actually save you money. Now, mind you, like I said, a lot of these things, being healthy takes time, but it can also save you money in the process because of the fact you can either spend money or time on fruits and vegetables, or you can spend money on doctors because you know,
You
you're
need a doctor.
you need a doctor. Yeah, basically like, I forgot what it's called, but it's like high blood pressure and like,
Hypertension,
yeah, calorie. No, what is it
diabetes.
called? No, carbo. It's not carbohydrates. It's basically something that increases like if you're unhealthy.
Cholesterol?
Cholesterol. There we go. Yeah, high cholesterol. So these are just things to weigh in on, and you don't feel it when you're young, but you feel it when you're older. And some of you guys know exactly what I mean. And so I would just encourage you guys to switch that now, and take the time. Like I said, so in the mornings, like I said, smoothies, switching like from like red potatoes to sweet potatoes. Another big thing, and I think this might help a lot of people actually. We eat so much more than we need to. In general, just in the U.S., but in general, like we think we need so much food to survive, and we don't. Like we really don't. But our minds have been, configured to this, more and more and more triple baconator, you know, and not like just like rat on bacon and or even like fast foods, but just like all these giant meals, and it's not really that necessary. Like you look at people like Terry Crews, if you ever hear them talk about the way he eats and his exercise, like they do these things called intermittent fasting, and he's still huge. He's not a small person by any form of the imagination. And he's still big. He still keeps his size. Matter of fact, I was looking at this thing. You guys watch Black Panther, and Michael B. Jordan, he was talking about his regiment, and he was just saying, like baking things. Stop frying stuff, guys. Stop frying stuff. Baked chicken. You know what I'm saying? Vegetables, brown rice. He said. Now, mind you, I'm against white rice, and brown rice isn't really the best either. I would go black rice personally, but brown rice is better. And so he was eating like baked chicken.
He said,
Yo, me too.
right?
Trust
Sam?
me. Mine's medical. But I feel you. But yeah, it's like he was, doing all these things. And water. Drink water. Water helps you so much. Now, mind you, I'm kind of going into the area for people who are exercising. But if you're not exercising, like I said, health is health regardless, though. So these are things that are going to help you regardless. But like I said, drinking water, if you are exercising, a big part of that is actually drinking water as well. Staying hydrated, because your muscles feed off that hydration as well, not just the food, to help you get bigger. And so, or stronger, promoting muscle growth. But so like I said, baked chicken, baking your foods, baking your fish instead of frying it all the time, different things like that. But yeah, so my health mentor, he's a track runner, right? He really doesn't eat a whole lot, but he maintains his body weight. And if you look at other people in other countries, like they live these long, healthy lives. And so specifically, I'm going to go to Asia, for example. You have these guys, they're usually kind of small, but I'm not even just talking about like height wise. They're just small stature people because of their diet. You know what I'm saying? They're not eating all these things. Like certain places, meat is considered a luxury, but not even so much to the fact where they don't have access to it, but it's just not the biggest portion of their plate. 3/4 of the plate is actually just fruits and vegetables.
Or rice or potatoes.
Or rice or potatoes. Like, meat is actually like a smaller portion, but for us, meat has to be like half the plate.
Right.
And it's just like I said, it's just unhealthy. And so we're just doing a little bit too much, and we're eating more than we really think we need. And so that will help you in regards to eating on a budget. That helps. So like I said, farmers markets, real quick. Farmers markets, being careful about how you're eating. And also the other thing I wanted to say is Food Lion really does. Whole Foods is not all it's cracked up to be. Just being honest. And you're a lot more likely to find things at like Kroger, rest in peace.
Harris Teeter now, because they're owned by Harris Teeter.
Yeah.
Oh, other way around.
But Harris Teeter is kind of expensive. I guess Kroger was too, but I guess what I'm saying is you don't have to go to Whole Foods.
You don't.
Food Lion, they have an organic section, but even more so, is just if we're talking about like fruits and vegetables, at least it's okay because Food Lion is usually locally sourced, rather than getting your stuff from somewhere super far away where you have no idea how it got there, or the things they had to do, or the time it was spent going from the store or wherever it was to the store. So Food Lion local places are actually a lot better off. So you wanted to say?
I was just, hey, hey Gabriel. I was just gonna say that when Zach's comment on people eating too much, there's always this rule of thumb that if you're trying to monitor how you eat slower and you take bites, like thoughtful bites, I guess you could say. And if you take a bite, you finish, swallow, you decide, you make a thought, hey, do I need another bite of this right now? And that's kind of like how you would train yourself to eat less if you were trying to, one, not overeat for cost reasons, not even just for health reasons. And if two, you were just trying to divvy out your food better. Dang, kosher.
Yeah, I know, man. Rip Kroger, right? Hey, y'all, just letting y'all know, Kroger's having a sale, like a going out
That's if they're still
of
stock.
life sale. Oh, they're not out of stock. They're leaving August the 14th, I think, from Raleigh. So you definitely go by there and stock up.
You'll probably get Kroger brand stuff though if they still have it, because everything else I can just send to Harris Teeter because they own the same stores. So.
But yeah, it's pretty cheap, See, I wish I knew that joke. I don't know that joke.
I know the joke.
You know the joke?
Yeah, Kosher made carrots for like one of the outings. And
Hold on. Everybody don't need to know
so
that.
sorry.
Well,
I'm saying.
okay, I've literally been living my whole life since that point and never knew the joke.
Right.
I was just like, dang, I wish I could have gone on that trip. But
It wasn't
okay,
from the
I'll figure
trip.
it out.
It wasn't from the trip.
Oh, well, I guess I'm just out of the loop then. But anyway, I'll figure it out. But yeah, so like I said, that's like some of the stuff I would say. And if you guys want like recipes or something, I could like maybe message you. I was actually just talking to one of the doctors, and he was like, he's a pescatarian, but there's like recipes of different things that we are making that to like help. So like one thing, I love cereal. I love cereal, and I stop, like, trust me, like, if anybody knows me, there will be like 5 boxes of cereal on the fridge, and all 5 of those boxes are probably gone in 3 days. Because, like, and I just eat a lot of cereal. But what I started realizing was that it had a lot of sugar in it. And that's another thing for eating healthy. We gotta kill sugar. Like, we eat so, like, because it stimulates your brain, by the way, if you didn't know that. Sugar stimulates your brain, and I'm pretty sure you knew that.
Addictive qualities.
It has addictive qualities. And we get to the point where we feel like we need it with everything. Now, mind you, this is a thing of training your palate. But sugar, like I said, if you're trying to get healthier, is one of the things you got to stop consuming.
Or at least monitor what you're consuming.
Yeah, exactly. Monitor it. But also, like, yeah, it's like see how you're consuming the sugars themselves. Is this natural sugar?
Yeah.
Like some
Like
there's certain sugars that are better than other sugars. What are you about to say?
Fructose, so like the fruit
Fructose?
sugar, fructose. Sorry, yes, yep, fructose, which is derived from fruit, but obviously you want to actually eat fruit. And agave, for Zach, if I make him something that requires sugar, like I make him these cookies, and they don't have white sugar in them. They don't have brown sugar in them. You can use 3 things. You can use agave, which is derived from cacti. You can use maple syrup, actual maple syrup, not
100%.
pancake. Yeah, 100%, not pancake syrup, maple syrup, or honey. So, since Zach isn't vegan for the sake of like animal things,
I love animals,
he
but
loves
God
animals.
told me I have dominion over animals.
It's not so much about the animals, it's more so for his health. So honey isn't an issue for him being pseudo vegan, you know what I mean? It's more so about eating things that are good for you. So those are sugar replacements if you're trying to cut back on sugar and you just really need something sweet. It's not going to be as sweet as sugar, but it will be good enough and healthier for you. Because those cookies aren't that sweet, but they satisfy you in a weird way.
And it's all about just being. Wow, I remember you, bro. I remember you. I saw your name and I knew immediately.
He has a
Thanks.
better memory than me.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yo, I'm telling you, Brunswick is coming up strong in these. Like, yeah, God bless you, bro. Thanks, man. And pray for your strength. Yeah, man. It's good to see. I hope you guys are doing well too. I really do. Like, I hope all of you guys are doing well. I'm just waiting on that class reunion, man. Like, I'm waiting. Like, Stephanie Ross was up in here a little earlier. Like, I remember all y'all. But yeah, so like I said, we were just talking about like some things that, like I said, I'm doing to stay healthy.
Yeah, someone asked a question.
Yeah, somebody asked a question.
How do you stay healthy?
Healthy on a
eat
budget.
Right on a budget.
Then we got into like some recipes and things like that.
Now, if you want recipes, I have recipes.
Yeah, she's the guru on the recipes. But I was just even with like I said, the recipes and the things like that. These are all things that take a level of resolve and discipline, but you'll eventually get to that point where you actually lose the taste for those other things.
And when you eat them again later, they're not gonna taste the same at all.
Yeah, got you. I got you, Gabe. Yeah, like, and I think it really works that way with a lot of things in life. You know, like a lot of things that, you know, you're trying to. You know, I saw this thing last night. It said, our choices, our bad choices become bad habits.
Oh, yeah.
But it
Sure.
works the other way around as well.
Good choices.
Good choices become good habits. So if you want to make good habits, you got to make good choices. And I know I just basically repeated it. But it's like, whether it be health, whether it be life or spiritual things, it's like you need to make those things, make those decisions to stop eating sugar as much, or to stop doing whatever it is that you're doing as much, and then, and you know what I'm saying, try to replace it with something. And like I said, eventually you'll lose the taste or the desire to, you know, continue those bad habits, basically. But it's all about the choices you make now. And maybe you already made the bad decision or bad choice, and you're in the bad habit. Well, then I would just say, now's the time to start making good choices, to then create better habits.
It's never too late to continue, like to start a new good habit. As long as you follow through and you make it habitual, really. You don't make it a one off thing, you make it a intentional decision in your life.
Let me tell y'all something. As long as you have air in your lungs, you can do it. Like, as long as you have air in your lungs, as long as you can breathe, you can do it. I was telling Sienna that I was like, you know, when I'm in the hospital, like I go through pain at times because, you know, like I've had chest tubes and, you know, these needles and all this stuff. But I would always tell myself, like, if I can just breathe, I can get through it. You know, like, this pain is going to be here, but it's not going to be forever. And even if it is, that doesn't mean I can't stop. I have to stop doing stuff. Because it's like, if I can just continue to breathe, then I can push through whatever this pain is. And because it's not going to end me, is my point. And so in that same vein, like whatever you're going through, whether it be physical or emotional, and I was explaining earlier how I've had emotional turmoils that I've been going through because of all these hospital visits, anxiety, you know, being afraid to leave home, just because the first time I left home after a hospital visit, I ended up right back in the hospital, and so, but like I said, if you can breathe, you can get through it because it's not too late. You have that opportunity, so you should definitely take it. Is there any other questions?
Are there any other questions?
And we'll probably end it at 9:30. What time is it?
It's 9:25 almost.
No, that's a.
Oh,
that's,
sorry.
yeah.
Oh, it's wrong. 9:18.
9:18. Yeah.
Oh, it's wrong. Okay.
Yeah, it's a wrong clock.
It's not a right clock. Yeah, so Zach will take other questions. I would take other questions if anyone had any possible question about anything, whether it be spiritual or health, or anything about Zach's situation.
Any questions about the series or
Right.
anything like that? Or, like I said, you know, you can also DM me or PM me or FM because it's called Facebook Messenger.
Right.
Whatever. But you're more than welcome to hit me up if you guys, like I said, in the future want to, like I said, especially if you're local and you guys just want to see.
Why did you say that?
Oh,
What?
wow. That's crazy. But for those of you who just got on, I've just been doing this, you know, frequently just to get everybody updated. The reason why I'm here is because I was coughing up some blood. I coughed up some blood. Excuse me. And they did a CAT scan, and initially they didn't really see anything of like major concern, but then I ended up coughing blood up again. And so after that, that's when they decided to just go through with the procedure. Hey, thanks, Chris. Thank you. I know he is. And that's when they decided to go through the procedure. So the procedure is gonna happen tomorrow. Tomorrow morning. There's gonna be two procedures actually. But like I said, we're just praying that like I said, just that they go through smoothly. If we can get through these smoothly, then that'll be essentially the I guess you could say the hard part, the hardest part, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you're saying the worst part is past, really?
Yeah. So,
Oh, food wise.
oh yeah, I feel you,
What
Coach.
do you mean?
He's getting better at like changing up his food habits and stuff. But never. But yeah. So just staying positive really is the
Did you have a bronch? Oh, a bronch done.
uh they're gonna be doing something like that tomorrow,
What was
a
that?
little bit deeper. I think like a bronchoscopy or
Yeah, but
something.
it's gonna be going.
They're
Oh.
gonna be going through an artery instead, though.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna go through my artery rather than it's a deeper form of a bronchoscopy, and so the like I said, the side effects are not really too huge. The biggest issue is the possible risks,
Mm-hmm.
rather than side effects. Because if it gets done and it's over, then it's just a matter of recovering.
Recovering.
So like I said, that's why I kept saying the procedure is probably the biggest thing. And so just like I said, be praying for that. And but yeah, like I said, definitely thank you for your concern. And like I said, once again, just this series is like I said, it's about me. Um, that's why.
Why do you feel bad, Coach?
Yeah, why you feel that? What were you talking about me behind my back?
All right. Oh,
Yeah.
I know what it is. Okay, cool.
Yes, ma'am.
Probably no more than me.
Yeah, like I said, essentially the operation is the equivalent of having a cut and getting Vaseline rubbed on it. It's just the cut is inside,
Yeah.
and so they have to get to it. Getting to the cut is the scary part, I guess, if there was a scary part.
Right.
But like I said, this series is just about me, my life, and the things that I've been going through, and
How that can.
how I've been able to overcome, still am overcoming, and I guess you call it the proof in the pudding. The me taking active steps to get better. And then as she was saying, to also encourage you guys, because like I said, I'm sure there's, even if you're not going through anything personally, I'm pretty sure that you guys have some family members that are going through something, and I've been there. I've been there. I've also been the obviously recipient of those feelings,
Right.
and as well as on the other side of them. And so I think guys just put me in a position where I could definitely help and speak to you guys, to those who are, you know, I guess wondering how to deal with it. If it's not something that you're necessarily used to, or maybe you've dealt with it in the past, but like I said, sometimes we pray about things and forget about it, and we didn't really grow from the situation. It just kind of went away. And so when we try to recall, I guess, like how did we make it through that last time, or things like that, it's a lot harder because we weren't really able to grow from the other situation. It just kind of got better, and and then life went on. And so, like I said, for me personally, I'm just at a point in life where I'm not satisfied with just praying to God and waiting for things to get better, but not actually growing in my situations. And so that's what I'm making active steps to do. basically now. So what time is it?
And then 6 minutes to neither.
So we got about 6 more minutes. Like I said, if you have any questions
Let
about
them roll.
yeah, let them roll. Whether it be about health, my current situation, spiritual, anything like that.
And you're welcome
Here.
to ask either one of us in case like, you might have a question about how you cope in similar situations. Like if you're going through what something Zach's going through, or you're going through like what I'm going through in response to what Zach's going through, anything like that, I don't mind answering questions on that level either, because I know like we might have grandmothers or grandpas or anyone close to us like I that is or sick or been hospitalized. It's not easy, but it's good to have support. And that's really what this is for, to show that you're not alone, that God is real in your life. You can grow from those things, and you can reach out to those who might not have that same level of relationship. So Zach wants to extend his hands to you even while he's in this bed right now. He knows that God has his back. God is real in his life. He's real in my life, and he's real in your life. You just have to let him be there. And we can help each other see that. Praying is the best thing. I wish this thing wasn't in the way when we're trying to read comments.
Let me see. Hold on.
That's not how it works. I could. It's the best thing you can do when you have an open mind.
Yeah, I was about to say maybe you can.
I'm trying. We're sorry,
'Cause
guys. We're trying to read a comment and
The way Facebook Live is like they want you to react to everything
yeah,
before you can even
before
read
you
it.
can read the comment. It's crazy.
Yeah, just
Let's see if I can see it. It says same. Okay.
well, I'm just gonna hit like so I can read the whole thing. Alright, so
But you have to have an open mind
and see God's answer.
and have a heart to hear and,
Yeah,
and
this
see
is
God's
actually
answer.
wild. That it won't let me read the whole thing. Maybe if I put it sideways.
Oh, you did it. Okay. Well, you
Okay.
already did it.
The best thing to do when you have an open mind and heart to hear and see God's answer.
Okay, that's enough.
Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And I've told people, I've said that many times, that oftentimes, hey Tiff,
Oh,
I've said that many times. Oftentimes we pray, but we don't really pray looking for God's answer. We pray kind of looking for our own.
right.
And like you said, you have to definitely have an open mind and heart to and I want to make sure I'm quoting it properly. Ooh.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. To have an open mind to and heart to hear and see God's answer.
Yes. Just be available. And as I've said also, just take steps to see, you know what I'm saying, what you prayed for come to fruition. Come in.
Hey, I've got your meds here. Do you want anything particular to drink with it?
I have some water.
You have water? Okay. 1 second.
And also understand the answers to your prayers can look different ways.
I think that's what you mean. Like that's
Yeah.
I think that's what you're getting at with open heart and open mind, because if you have a one-track mind and how you should be receiving your blessing, then when you do actually receive your blessing, or when it's presented to you, you
might
won't
not.
accept it because you thought it was supposed to look a certain way.
Or recognize it for what it is, yeah.
Exactly. So we totally get what you mean by that. Because sometimes grand things come in little packages, or things don't look the way they seem. So you always have to keep that open mind, and you also have to have your heart set on the right things.
I would say also understanding that, you know, We have to be faithful.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, and that's a lot of what I've been trying to do and grow from myself because of the fact, just being patient, like being patient. A lot of times we'll pray, we'll ask God for something, and then we don't hear anything, and so we just
We assume he didn't hear
we
us
assume
or
he
didn't
didn't
want
hear
to
it
say
or we
anything.
forget it, and it's like just be patient. Like if you prayed for this, then trust that the answer is gonna come. You know, we say we trust God,
Oh,
but
yeah, I remember.
we don't oftentimes really give God the I guess maybe even the word might be respect that he deserves, because it's like I say I trust God, but if it takes, like for me, right, it's like I'm saying it, and I've been, I was in the hospital and I had another, I was hoping to, be out and for that to be done. But what if it doesn't happen as soon as you want? When I had the first hospitalization for my lungs, well, for my left lung, it took like 2 to 3 weeks or something like that for it to get healed. When the right lung came, it took 2 months, and that whole time, I'm just thinking to myself, okay, I'm praying, I'm trusting it's gonna get better, and then 3 weeks passed by and it wasn't better. Then 4 weeks, then 5 weeks, then 6 weeks, and I'm just like, okay, when?
Yeah, because you had that expectation
Is
of the last one.
this gonna heal? And so it's like I said, it's a test. I mean, like you were saying, it's like you have to be willing to wait, because it's not gonna always come when you want to. But are you gonna still trust God in the midst of the situation? And it says Job was a big inspiration when I was going through.
And you said that.
Just knowing yeah. And same, like I said, same thing. Job, similar situation. It's like going through something, but being patient, understanding. Like if just kind of like what I said, like if you're still breathing, what I'm saying, you have purpose, and if you're still breathing, that means it's not too late for God to answer you. Even though it takes time, and like I said, sometimes we're not really. Truth be told, sometimes we're not ready for I guess you could say like the answer to that prayer. So like for example, when I was trying to get out of the hospital, my prayer was, Lord, can I get out of here? However, if I had left when I wanted to leave, there was this gentleman whose life I was able to touch. Literally, the day I was trying to get out. And if I had left that day, I would have never been able to help him out, because he was talking to me about how his son passed away, and that kind of like led him away from God. And so I was just talking to him, and interesting. I learned to never pray.
Why can't you pray for all three?
Well, I would say I would still pray for all three.
I would still pray.
And the reason, let me tell you the reason why I say that. Can you pull up the scripture? You know what I'm talking about?
Which one?
Brings endurance.
Oh,
Brings...
yeah. Steadfast. I think, which one is that? Steadfast scripture. There's probably a lot of those, actually.
Let me see. I think I know how to find it.
Okay.
Produces patience.
Is it Facebook?
Okay, so check this out.
Oh,
James, the first chapter. Where's your...
It's right there.
James, first chapter, and it's the third verse, but I'm just gonna read that section.
It's like a nurse's doing something.
Let's see. James.
Oh, no.
So,
It says count it all.
testing it. Wait, no, this isn't it. Is it?
Yes. Wait.
Says Steph. Nope, that's not it.
Yeah, you just look at the first one.
Produces. Rejoice in sadness.
That one.
Here it goes. Here it goes. Romans,
Don't
the
move too
5th chapter, 3 through 5. It says, not only do we rejoice in our sufferings, knowing that suffering produces endurance. Endurance produces character. Character produces hope. And hope does not put us to shame. And so in some forms that some versions, they use the term patience instead of endurance, I believe. And
Yeah,
so
because they can be synonymous.
and so basically the reason why I say that is because I think patience is no, what's going on?
I'm just flushing it.
Okay.
Sure so it works.
I believe patience is what allows you to have the strength. And the other thing is, sometimes you're not going to get the understanding when you want it.
That's a response.
I think he shows me. Yeah, that's funny you say that. A lot of times when you pray for patience, he'll give you a reason to need patience, right? That yeah. But like I said, it's just is everything okay?
Oh yeah, I'm just documenting.
Oh, got
Sorry.
you. A lot of times what happens is that you'll be in a situation and patience is basically sometimes you're not going to get the understanding, I guess is what I'm saying. Sometimes you won't understand why you're going through what you're going through. And that's kind of oftentimes what the prayer is. It's like, Lord, give me understanding of the situation. However, I guess what I was saying is you want to have patience while you're waiting for the answer of understanding the situation. Because like I said, sometimes we aren't going to get that immediately. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Coach just said it very well. Sometimes we're not going to get, patience and understanding go hand in hand because sometimes we don't understand right off. And we have to slow down and hear from God. And so, like I said, when you brought up strength, like I said, that comes into play with the same situation of faith producing endurance and hope and character, and that strength of character is being produced from all those. It's kind of like a chain reaction, and
Domino
so
effect. Yeah.
yeah, domino effect. And so, like I said, I think I'm going to close out here, but I'll swing it back to this. With everything that I've with everything that I've gone through in life up to this point, it's been, like I said, it's definitely been, like I said, a serious journey for me. But and I guess Sterling's question is, what makes you such a devoted Christian? Um, just that, I guess you could say, faith journey alone. The faith journey alone is really what's kept me through it all. But also understanding that if I've been brought through this, then there must be more for me. Um, when I was talking to the person before I came to this hospital, the person was suicidal. I don't know if you guys were here for that part, but I was at when I went to Rex, there was a suicidal person at the hospital in the same waiting room as us, and I went over to talk to them, and when I was just trying to encourage them, they told me, I was basically giving them a little bit of what was going on with me, and they were like, you must have like a really strong determination. Your body has a really strong determination to live, is what they said. And so, in that regard, I would say that's that's part of what's keeping me going, I guess. And then just like I said, the people around me, the support, my family, and as well as friends, and they're helping me to continue to know that there is a brighter future. There's a brighter future ahead, and I see it in people. You know what I'm saying? I see it in people. People are people are beautiful, man. I know that sounds super cliche, but it's really true. And going through what I've gone through, I've been able to see a lot of the beauty in life. And I guess what I'm trying to do is give that same encouragement to others because I've seen it firsthand. Um, God has been real in my life, and I just want to, I guess, share that realness with other people. And yeah, so I guess, and that's honestly something that I'm still growing in, though. And I'm not, and like I said, this is honest Christianity. I'm not ashamed to say that I don't have all the answers fully yet. But that's about the closest I can give you right now to why I'm a devoted Christian, why honest Christianity is what it is, and as I'll end it on that, as Tiffany said, every day is a blessing, and so I'm just trying to take advantage of the days that I'm given. So, um, I think that might be a good idea, though, Coach. Let's pray out. All right, so guys, we're just gonna pray out real quick. Okay, Father God, in the name of Jesus, coming here right now, just thanking you for everybody who was able to tune in to the stream. Father, I pray that you would just bless them, bless their minds. Father, I pray that you would just use this opportunity. Like I said, this is not just about me, but use this opportunity to encourage them as well. Father, I pray that they would take, if they were able to take anything from this, they would take it and pass it on to help someone else. And like I said, I have a procedure happening tomorrow, Lord, and you know that. So we're just praying for a smooth recovery, a smooth process of the procedure, and then also smooth recovery so that I'm able to get back on my feet and continue the work that you would have me do. In your name, I pray. Your matchless name. Amen.
Amen.
All right, guys. God bless. Merry Christmas. Peace out. I think the thing stays up for a bit. You can watch the recording
We can probably save it.
or something like that if you missed it. And like I said, Honest Christianity. That's the YouTube series. I'm sure you guys see me post about it a good bit, so check it out.
We continue
And
to post.
yeah, and I will be continuing to post. So I love you guys. Peace.
Thank you for
Love you.
watching.